Hello everybody and welcome to some very exciting BIONICLE 2016 news. So thanks to LEGO's official Facebook page, we now have a nice shiny new poster for BIONICLE The Journey to One. Now as we learned a while ago, The Journey to One is premiering on March 4th. Specifically, the first 2 episodes of BIONICLE The Journey to One are premiering on March 4th. The next 2 will be premiering at some point in July, which I know some people may take issue with, others may appreciate because it shows that LEGO is trying to pace out the story to avoid the HF scenario, where all of the story got told at the beginning of the year and then there was nothing else to tell. This poster also has that release date, just to drill that in a little bit more. We're nearing March 4th pretty quickly here. At any point, I don't know what I say, at any point I know how long it's going to be. It's going to be roughly a week. But it's absolutely fantastic to see that this is almost here. So the poster has that date, as well as some nice cool shots of the Toa all posed heroically. Tahu is standing holding the mask of control, because of course, Tahu's the main character. You get to see Ikea, you get to see Umarak hanging menacingly in the distance, and also at the bottom of the poster we now get to see some of the credits for the show. As well as including, we have the writer, Mark Palmer, the Volta team, which appears to be who is producing the show, and we have the executive producers, producer, director, etc., etc. So you can check that out on the poster itself. It's cool to know who is actually behind this show, finally. I know that's been a topic of much curiosity over the last couple of months. So that's pretty much the bulk of the news video. In some only slightly related BIONICLE The Journey to One news, recently, another thing that kind of slipped through the cracks, the BIONICLE website got updated, which a lot of people sent in to us, with a new tab in the story page, or more specifically the explore page, called Akimu's Mission. And we learn a little bit more about the 2016 story and what exactly is going on, namely that Akimu's first action upon recovering his Mask of Creation after the defeat of Skullgrinder is to craft the 6 Masks of Unity, which give the Toa all sorts of new powers, but also each one has a spiritual link to Okoto's ancient creatures, which the Toa must then use the masks to track down. And we knew this a while ago, but the creatures have been around since Okoto came into being, and they have a link to each region. They're infused with raw elemental power, and this Toa has to find them, tame them, and unite with them in order to stand a chance against Makuta. But wait! Makuta has deployed Umarak the Hunter to travel through the shadows and stalk the Toa in the hopes that they will lead him to the elemental creatures. So that's a thing. We now know that Makuta he's controlling Umarak, or rather has at least deployed Umarak against the Toa. Some people will be happy about that, some people not so much. But I suppose Makuta is the true main antagonist, so it does make sense to have him pulling the strings here in the background. And then one final thing. There's a designer video, multiple designer videos, in fact, on BIONICLE.com now, but one of which goes into a little bit more detail on Umarak, saying that Umarak has been under Makuta's employ for quite a long time, and also that his mask has the power to control shadows, which is very interesting. It appears as if Umarak's mask is the G2 Mask of Shadows. Obviously not the same Mask of Shadows, it's not the Kirkan per se, but it does in fact control shadows. And that's cool to see. So that's pretty much all the news I have to bring for you today. Everybody get hype for Journey to One coming March 4th, and then the next 2 episodes coming at some point in July, and stay tuned to TTV for we will be reviewing, discussing, and talking about the show in great detail once it releases. Thank you for watching, and please feel free to continue the discussion on the TTV Message Boards at board.ttvpodcast.com. I'm Messanak, and goodbye.